when last you were here, we talked about Battlefield Earth, and you brought up a point I knew from the jump I was going to say again. Well, and by say, I mean reveal that I struggle with. So you said with Battlefield Earth that you separate the book from the film.
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with that when it comes to this, and I'll be honest, most things. If I have a predisposition of positive or negative feelings, I tend to carry them with me.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I have a bunch, and love for Superman comic books. And so it kind of taints my opinion of Superman media. If you're being accurate to Superman, I feel it, and if you're being inaccurate to the way I feel towards Superman, I feel it.
That I can completely understand with that.
Yeah.
It's the human nature.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard. It's just like, it's a different form of media. It's a different form as long as they're not going to cherry pick.
Yes.
As soon as they start cherry picking, that's where I go, no.
I appreciate the alternate perspective because my presumption is you've never read any Valerian comic books.
I have not.
So in their country of origin, they're actually called albums, which I thought was interesting because they're European stories, and instead of them being called hardcovers or trade paperbacks or whatever America calls it, they call them albums, and they only come out like seasonally, and it's a collection of a lot of stories, not just a short story like a traditional comic book. It was actually one of the many Star Wars documentaries where I found out that Valerian and Lorelei was a comic that inspired George Lucas's foray into science fiction. It was a blend of these books along with samurai culture and
spaghetti western.
Exactly. That kind of blended all. He took all these ingredients, put them in a blender, and he said, that's my recipe.
That's the magic juice.
Exactly.
And
yeah, for a while it was quite successful.
Even still to this day, it's quite
financially,
successful.
especially. Yes, it's more divisive now.
Not so much for Disney because they kind of went off the rails on it, but
yeah, that's the divisive. That's the divisive stories I was speaking of. Yeah, I have not yet watched anything after The Force Awakens. Even though I've been told a lot of TV shows are quality, after The Force Awakens, I stepped away and didn't care. And as a matter of fact, I'll say this: I wish The Force Awakens wasn't the last movie I watched in theaters with my mother because, that's not the way you want to go. But yeah, back to the topic of
the squirrels,
Valerian, and don't get me wrong, there was a point behind bringing up George Lucas, but I can remember being in theaters watching the trailer for the first time and thinking, oh my goodness, this property, this thing that most people don't know exists, is finally getting its moment in the sun. And I was so excited. I also distinctly remember being, I'll say, unsatisfied upon watching the movie when it actually released, but...
Oh, I have questions. I have so many questions about the movie, it's not even funny.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, what was it, the Count? I forget.
You mean Clive Owen's character?
No. Like, within the first
Oh, he's
scenes
Commander, yeah.
of uh, Beach Time
Oh, yeah.
and stuff like that, how she doesn't want to be another number on the count or something along the.
Yeah.
I'm like, that kind of came out of left field.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, they also have such a long lifespan, like that, because it sure seems like a lot of time had passed from the moment of the planet's destruction and ransacking to all of them being stowaways on the Omega
well,
base.
It's
Alpha base.
Started off as a station.
Yes.
Well, started off as a ship, then a station, then.
Yeah, basically just kept growing.
Yeah. I don't even know how to classify it.
Yeah, at the final stage, it's the city of 1,000 planets, so the subtitle makes sense at that point.
Yeah.
But no, I thought visually.
Oh, visually it was stunning.
Oh my goodness, the interdimensional shopping mall stuff
that
it popped me so much.
I'm like, that's VR.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they have to use a box and then other things, and I went, that's nifty.
Yes.
I like that. And then just randomly you just see people walking around in a desert scape, and you're kind of like, that's funny.
Yeah, the concept of being able to move items and yourself from different dimensions because you're familiar or capable of moving on those different planes. I thought, man, that was so cool so I grew up loving science fiction. It was like one of the few tying threads that me and my father had going on. Like, he liked science fiction, I like science fiction. I was like, well, at least we got something. And one of my favorite shows was called Sliders. It was about interdimensional travel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit it was about being an outsider and someone who doesn't fit in. So that part I definitely could connect to. But, by the time it got to its third season, it got moved to Monday nights. And
completely just.
Well, it turned into weekly B-movie gimmicks. But my point behind bringing up that it moved to Mondays is I was so interested in staying connected, not just with it, but, the family connection, that I chose it over wrestling, which is so important when it comes to me because, like, I pursued wrestling when I grew up, and so it just it makes a point to me to say that because science fiction and interdimensional travel is it's something I've always enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And while I can look back as an adult and say, okay, that wasn't everything I thought it was as a young person, I also can easily put on my rose-tinted glasses and it can bring a smile to my face.
Oh, yeah.
So it's one of those things. That and X-Files always take me back to a time gone by where, yes, sir.
D&D geek.
Yeah. Well, I mean like a time gone by where me and my father actually had something in common.
Mm.
And so I was like, man, every time I put those two things on, I'm just like, there was a moment in time
where we could actually connect on something.
Exactly. And so I think that upbringing, that impactful time helps me to let some of the confusion or inconsistencies fall away.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, it's the idea of a book that most people don't know existed, but I had and enjoyed. So that was cool. And it's also that drive, that desire, because I have literal books that most people don't know exist that I enjoy, that I would love to, preferably before I die, but even if it's years later and I'm long gone, for people to be like, oh man, I can remember reading, Everlasting Survivors or BC Brood or whatever the case may be. And, you know, it's just one of those things where I can be like, yeah, I see where you're coming from, you know, European album. One of these days.
I understand.
What'd you think of Rihanna?
Confusing.
Okay, so she was a short-lived character, obviously.
Yeah, like the character itself was confusing, but just like a Ditto from Pokemon.
Okay.
You know, to where shape changer.
Yep.
But you know, usually shape changers can only go to their. They can't become bigger or smaller.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they stay the same size. Not so much with that alien race. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, so she reminded me of Morph, my favorite X-Men character.
A little bit.
From the cartoon. And so, yeah, I found her very enjoyable for the short amount of time that she was around.
It's kind of sad that she was only around for such a short period of time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she was very important to the progress of the story. So that Valerian could save Laureline. And, like, yeah, no, I liked her presence. I don't think I've seen her in anything else, to be real.
Battleship.
Battleship. I haven't watched Battleship. Should I? No?
If you want something that you can just put on and do other things, yeah.
That's not how I watch movies.
But like if you want background noise,
sure,
like cleaning the kitchen, or you know, I wouldn't say vacuuming because then you really can't hear it.
Of course.
But like little mundane chores.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay,
That's usually when I podcast. That's usually when I listen to somebody talking, like dishes and laundry and whatnot. But yeah, when I put on a movie, I'm all in. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'm always all in when it comes to a film. So if you don't recommend it, I think we're going to pass on watching Battleship for the channel. Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much, much more. But most importantly, the story itself.
Yeah.
Unless we've had a long streak of good, then might need to put some bad in there.
Okay. that is very valid. That is.
It's kind of my approach to things.
Well, it's also good.
Like,
okay, if everything has been all the way up here, well, are we sure that everything's up here?
Exactly.
Or is it even higher, or could it be lower?
Absolutely.
Because, yeah.
No, I was just curious. While I did enjoy her presence, I can't think of a time when I'd seen her in something else other than, you know, real life. I've seen her in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I thought she was cool. And the star of the film, Valerian, he has starred in a couple of projects that
I was racking my brain. I'm like,
so
I know I've seen them.
Chronicle, the found footage film.
Okay.
He's the kid who loses it, right?
Okay. There we go.
And then he's also Harry Osborn in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But my point is, the actor,
I'm like, holy crap, yes.
The actor who plays Valerian, the times I've seen him before this, I thought, man, I think he can be a top guy, right? And then he gets top billing, and I'm like, oh, oopsies.
It almost reminded me of Kirsten Stewart. I think I said
okay.
that right.
Yeah.
You know how it's just that real dead face where it's not showing much.
Sure.
Like that is what I got from that character. Like saying all these things, but there's nothing behind it. Cara Delevingne, I think I said her
Female
name.
lead?
Yeah.
I don't know what her name is.
I know the first part is Cara.
Sure.
I can't.
But yeah, Laureline is the character's name.
I had seen her in Carnival Row with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Keira Knightley?
Orlando Bloom.
Oh, okay. He would have been my next guess.
Which sci-fi, fantasy. Which I enjoyed her in that. Completely different in this.
Sure, yes.
Like, acting-wise.
Of course.
And I'm like, every once in a while, I could almost see, like, a spark of something, but then it just fizzled out.
Gotcha.
How he continuously professed his love to her and wants to marry her.
Yes.
Multiple times confused me because going into the movie not knowing anything,
right?
They're like, oh, they're coworkers. Cool. He's an officer, and she's enlisted. Not good.
Right. Yep.
And then it's one of those.
Were you in the military, or you just know this?
By law, I have to say yes.
By law, I have to say yes. That's hilarious.
I never finished recruit training, so
okay.
I do not claim it.
That's funny. Okay, I was just curious because my point is, I'm sure that it can be known by people who weren't in that's a no-no.
Yeah, fraternization.
but generally speaking, I feel like most people don't bring it up unless you are actually, a part of the game.
Yeah, it's one of those. No.
Yeah, so there was a captain once. Like I wasn't very shy about my affection, but nothing ever happened other than me being like,
"How you doing?"
Yeah, it's like nothing happened other than me being like, "Hey, you're awesome, and that I know that you know that I know that."
It's like, hey, cards all out.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was young and dumb and didn't know nothing from nothing, yeah. So it's like. She knew I meant no harm. Like
probably like, oh, you're cute.
Yeah. So I can, dude, I can remember when I was like 17, and I was working at a sawmill, and I got this splinter in my eye, and I hit on an eye doctor, and she was like, oh, I'm like, I don't remember her age now, but I'm 17, and she's like 35. I'll say for the sake of argument, maybe 40. Doesn't matter. I was like, well, you're still amazing, like whatever your age is, and I'm dumber than dirt, and I don't know nothing about nothing.
I'm a firm believer that you can appreciate.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean nothing's going to happen.
Oh yeah, it certainly didn't. Yeah.
Like, I appreciate it.
Yeah. And so I get your point that the fraternization of the characters was a no-no, but I also did not care because I can remember my young dumb self, and
and that is something that for anyone in the military that watches it, they can go,
dummy.
Because, that's a no-no, but does it happen?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, dude. I can remember when we were deployed, there were a couple of big rules. One, don't drink alcohol, which we weren't supposed to have, but, some people found ways to get, right?
It's not that hard.
And another big rule was stay in your own sleeping quarters, to put simply, right? And yet, there were these soldiers who kept coming up pregnant. And they were all like, how does this keep happening? It's almost like the rules were made to be broken.
Like, you have to grunt-proof it.
But yeah, back to the movie. I have an ability to look past things. And so I thought it was good. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I can put this on and smile. I can think about the first time that I read the books. I'm like, man, it's something aspirational to me. It's like when I see, the bright lights and the pretty picture, I'm just like, man, I want this in my life, for my life. And so that's why I gave it the positive, good score. And, I totally understand you having a lesser opinion, not having those same connections to it.
It's one of those, there's obviously a lot of backstory involved.
Yes,
before the movie. And I think if they were able to flesh that out a little bit more, at least between the two main characters, would have been much more entertaining to watch.
Yes, and helpful, too, for outsiders.
But overall, it was visually stunning.
Yes.
The acting, in some points, was kind of, okay.
Yeah.
You're going to get that in most
Clive
movies.
Owen is a guy the bad guy.
Yeah, and
He is a guy that, man, when he is on, he's on, and sometimes he just falls off the face of the planet. But no, I enjoy his.
Children of Man.
Yes, my
Like,
goodness.
Talk about acting chops. Just that alone, that he played it.
Have you ever
was
seen?
a fantastic?
Have you ever seen the movie Derailed?
No.
It is unpleasant, but he's the star with Jennifer Aniston, and the story is about him derailing his life by being unfaithful to his wife,
Oh, dummy.
and yeah, things get ultra crazy. But yeah, Clive Owen's good at delivering when it comes to
And
important stuff.
it almost felt like he just wasn't there for the movie.
Oh yeah,
He was just like, it's a paycheck.
he was the biggest star of the main cast, because again, Valerian,
Yeah.
while he was in a couple of things, not the top. He's not probably not the top grossing guy of the crew.
Yeah.
Laureline definitely not, and so I think he was brought in primarily to be like, this guy, we got him. You'll like it.
Well, and then his second in command, I can't think of his name.
I popped his face up.
But he's been in multiple movies.
Oh, sure, I'm sure.
There was another. I want to say it was one of the. At the bazaar, the interdimensional bazaar.
Yeah.
One of the cops, were they mercenaries?
That feels like a good descriptor.
I want to say that there was like one or two that I'm like, I know I've seen them before.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I believe it for sure.
Like, I've seen them in other movies.
Awesome.
But I myself personally would rate this higher than Battlefield Earth.
Okay.
To me, it is still passing.
Okay.
I would give it a 3
Okay.
because, well, yes, I do have questions,
Sure.
and I know that there is source material. I can find out those answers by
Yes.
going to the source material.
Yes, exactly.
And it feels...
But you're right that the movie itself ought to do the work, not ask you to do it for them.
Yeah, that is why if they had built that up a little bit more,
Yes.
Even if it was like a quick flashback to maybe even when they first met, and then, just a couple of a montage.
I was going to say,
showing.
I definitely think the montage is a lost art. So this film had it when it came to the growing of the space station, or you know what I'm saying, the city.
Well, that montage was fantastic.
Exactly, it had it there. But most films in the modern age
don't know how to do it.
Exactly,
it falls so flat, and you're like,
it was such a pivotal part of storytelling for years, and nowadays it's just like, dang, man, too bad.
And again, there's just, if I had to nitpick it, it would be just that. Could they have done differently on the actors and actresses? Yeah.
Sure.
Like, they could have thrown a whole lot more money at it.
Yes.
Did this one recoup?
Probably not. I'll be real. Probably not. I've never. I'll be real. That's never been something I care about.
But like, just I was just.
But my assumption is it probably did not make back its money. It was not. It was not a massive success.
Okay.
Culturally speaking, which makes me think it wasn't a massive success financially speaking.
Understandable then.
Yeah.
And it has really good IP, intellectual property.
Yeah.
They have how many different albums?
There are 7 total. Yeah, so there's definitely, like, if it had been financially successful, they could have had a massive franchise. But because it doesn't, I assume it wasn't. But yeah, thank you.
Oh, not a problem.
Appreciate
Always
it.
want more.